In a valley nestled between towering peaks lived a young man named Elian. But this was no ordinary valley. It was plagued by the winds of worry, invisible currents that whispered anxieties and fears into the ears of all who lived there, leaving them perpetually restless and unhappy. Elian, like all the others, felt their cold touch every day, and his heart yearned for a silence he had never known. One day, unable to bear the weight of the winds any longer, Elian sought the counsel of the oldest woman in the village, a recluse said to remember a time before the worries. "The winds cannot be stopped," she rasped, her voice like rustling leaves, "but one can build a fortress against them. High on Mount Seren there is said to be a citadel of serenity. The path is a lesson and the destination a reward. Seek it if you dare." Elian began his journey. His first great obstacle was a roaring river, its currents too fierce to swim. For a day he despaired, shouting at the river, cursing his powerlessness. Then he remembered the old woman's words. "The path is a lesson." He looked at his hands, at the sturdy trees lining the bank. He could not calm the river, but he could build a raft. This was the first lesson. Do not waste energy on what you cannot change. Focus only on what you can control. After crossing the river, Elian entered a forest so dense the sun could not find its floor. He was lost for days, and fear began to creep in. He felt the winds of worry chasing him even here. But then, exhausted, he leaned against a tree and accepted his situation. "I am lost," he thought, "so be it." In that acceptance, his fear subsided. He started to notice the forest not as a prison, but as a home. He found edible berries, fresh water from a stream, and shelter in a small cave. This was the second lesson. Love your fate, whatever it may be. Find the advantage in your adversity. Emerging from the forest, he came upon a small farming village. A great storm had recently passed, ruining their crops and fences. His journey urged him to press on, but seeing their despair, he chose to stay. For a week, he worked alongside the villagers, helping them mend what was broken and replant what was lost. In their gratitude and in the purpose of his labor, he felt a deeper satisfaction than he ever had on his solitary quest. This was the third lesson. The highest good is virtue and service to your fellow man. Finally, he began the steep ascent of Mount Seren. Near the summit, weathered by time, he found a simple stone archway. Carved into it was a skull from whose empty eye socket grew a single, beautiful flower. He gazed at it and understood. Life is fleeting and death is certain. This knowledge was not a reason for fear, but a call to cherish every single moment, to live fully and virtuously now. This was the fourth lesson. Remember that you must die. Elian reached the peak, expecting to find a grand stone citadel. Instead, he found only a tranquil, silent grove of trees. He smiled, realizing the truth. There was no physical citadel of serenity. The citadel was what he had built inside himself through his journey, through control, acceptance, virtue, and awareness. He returned to his valley, not as a man who had escaped the winds of worry, but as a man who could stand unshaken within them, a silent mountain in his own soul, ready to teach others how to build their own fortress of peace.